but I've started now.
I knew it.
I told you I was going to start.
You did.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Jamie.
What a week.
Jesus
What a world.
Christ. What a week. What a world.
Yes.
Oh.
I warned everyone on the
melting,
Facebook page that this episode would be coming out late because we're literally doing it at, what is it? 3 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
So as soon as we finish
Which is like
this,
several hours before it's supposed to come out.
Well, no, this one normally comes out just whenever. It's usually a little bit earlier.
Oh, okay.
I didn't set a specific time because I don't want to be held to that shit.
Right.
But
we have enough accountability in our lives.
it will be later than usual because we've got this to do, and then we've got the actual episode for Monday to do, and then we've got to keep drinking.
I got delayed. I got stranded in Indianapolis for 2 days waiting for the weather to clear or for the flights to finally come back to Dallas.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Michael asked for storms, and we got them. We had a tornado week before last, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks ago now, I think maybe.
I didn't ask for that tornado, but the tornado made me go, I'd like more storms, please. But I don't want them. I was wrong.
You should have been more specific.
I was wrong to ask for them. I just want some nice light thunderstorms. I don't want 300,000 people to be without power
in Dallas. Yeah. So it's the specificity, and that's okay. On the bright side, it's June. And it's fantastic outside. There's a cool breeze.
It is nice.
In Texas.
Normally it would be like 1,000 degrees right now.
Yeah,
and we'd still have tornadoes.
Right. So what happened Sunday is there was a massive hailstorm that...
It was a microburst.
It was a microburst.
Which is like a little mini...
It's nothing to do with the starburst.
No, not at all. God, I wish. It's like a little mini storm. It's not mini. It's like... think of a hurricane or a typhoon packed into a 20-minute interval, but it's just so accelerated, and it just hit Dallas. I mean, if you see, there's a picture someone posted, I think on the Washington Post or Times or something.
Jack doesn't believe it's real.
And it's not. It's apparently not photoshopped. It's enhanced a little bit, but it's not. It's just like coloring and stuff, but it's not. And it's not photoshopped, and it looks like it's downtown Dallas covered perfectly by a superburst or a microburst and the storm coming down, and it's just like the photograph lacks only an evil wizard standing on a cliff, summoning the storm off to the side. It's insane.
It's insane.
And there were trees. I mean, it blew so many trees down. Yeah. Power was out. Windows.
If you follow me on Twitter, I probably should have put it up on Instagram, but I didn't. Maybe I'll do it on our Instagram so people can see it. 3 doors down from me, a tree fell and hit a car. Crushed a car. There are trees down you've been on my street. There are trees that are chopped down. It's destruction. It was catastrophe is what Calista called it. But we've worked on it. She's now saying catastrophe.
I like catastrophe is a good word, though. We should coin that. Catastrophe.
Yeah, it's when there's just trash everywhere.
This town got trashed.
When I walked into my kitchen, this is a catastrophe. What happened? What happened over the weekend? So, so I found out there was a storm when I got a message from my neighbor that asked if I was home, and I said no. She lost her skylight. Oh. And then she sent me a picture of my fence, which you can see all of the hail damage in the fence. I sent that to you.
Yeah.
My lawn furniture is all the paint's nicked off. It almost looks polka dotted. That's how hard it got hit. My tree in the back lost some limbs. Our tree in the front, they had just trimmed all of the trees, so that it could have been so much worse.
That's good, I guess.
And the hard part is I just fixed my roof 2 weeks ago. So now there's more damage. It's leaking again.
I didn't realize you fixed your roof. I thought it was a good thing that the hail hit, because I thought, good, now your insurance will cover the roof. But you had already, Jamie, I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't mean to come across as overjoyed that you had roof damage, because I thought it was helping you.
I didn't read that at all, so it's all right. The weird thing, though,
I was like, yay!
Is that somehow a leak came through the floor and soaked one of my rugs, which I just found out the other day.
Oh my God.
It was a rough day the other day. I was barely holding on. And, Monday, we didn't have electricity till 4. I don't know if anybody's ever had to keep 2 children busy without electricity.
Without Netflix.
But it is a challenge. We bought plants. That's what we did.
Oh, that's nice.
But, then we came back, and Callista was like, I want to play on my phone. I was like, you can't. And she's like, I just have to charge it. I said, you can't. yeah, I've got a charger. I was like, what are you going to plug it into? She's 6. It took a minute for her to understand that. But yeah, it was really funny. It's like,
there are adults that have that moment. I'll be fine. I'll just charge it in.
Oh, right. I can't. Go to the car. Just go to the car.
Just go to the car. Enjoy some AC.
Yeah. So we both had, and you were stuck in Indiana. Until Indianapolis. Tuesday.
Yeah, during Pride, so there are worse times to get stuck there. And Indianapolis is a very charming city.
That's great.
I discovered we all we just took a day to like explore and find stuff because we're like, wow, we never really get to see much of the cities we visit because we just see the inside of a hotel and a convention center. So we went out and we went to the little bohemian gay district, which was super fun because they were celebrating Pride, and it was really nice. I found you some gifts, which I'm like, I have to bring back, and you've had it's great. I love it.
So Michael got me these
my favorite thing ever.
Golden Girls shot glasses. So it has one of a different Golden Girl per 4 glasses.
Yeah, on each glass there's a different Golden Girl.
I got him and Brandon
completely. We didn't know. We had no idea.
I was in. Oh gosh, where was I? Let me file through my brain.
Where were you?
I'm doing Richmond.
But that was 2
Monday,
weeks ago.
So that's on my brain right now. That was 2 weeks ago. Last week, I was in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
Yeah, beautiful view from my hotel room. Beautiful. It was a great convention. And there was this little shop that had music, of theme songs and stuff like that, different songs. And so there was a theme song for the Golden Girls with Blanche on the picture of Blanche on the music.
The sheet music.
So I got that from Michael and Brandon.
It was great. And we're like...
No, we didn't know. We just saw it.
We just traded gifts this afternoon, and we were like, what? That's amazing!
It's fun. Yeah, it was really funny. I screamed when I saw it, and I was like, I'll be right back. He's like, did you get me the same thing? I was like, not exactly.
It's awesome.
I got your version of that. So anyway, we're sorry about the delay on this. It's even longer now because we've spent 7 minutes discussing this. So we'll move on to...
What story are we opening with today?
Okay, the first one is from the lovely Holly.
Hi, Holly.
She says hi back. It's like an AA meeting, except we're drinking. It's not a very effective meeting. Okay, I have an update. Kinda. So I wrote in with my story a few months ago about the zoo I work at, and it was on the first Ghostacles episode. I remember that. Anyway, in that story, I mentioned about security and some others who had said about the old Rhino Road being haunted, but that I had never seen, heard, sensed anything there. I guess in the Rhino exhibit. Well... I fucking take that back. I was riding a cart taking our rubbish to the dumpster 4 heavy cans at a time via the old Rhino Road. Oh, it is a road. Which they have recently started construction close by for the new elephant and rhino exhibits. Anyway, it was after opening hours, so I had to get out of the cart to close the behind-the-scenes gate. I put on the brake of the cart and got out, walked a few steps away, and heard the engine fucking rev. It will not rev unless your foot is on the pedal. I looked back, and it did it a fucking again. And started driving on its own.
Oh.
Now, I laugh at everything. It's a literal problem I have. So I laughed and ran towards the cart and had to jump back on the back, climb through to the front, and slam on the brake before it hit the fence. Oh my God.
Like, you're fucking Laura Croft over here.
I know, but laughing, and I enjoy that part the most. My heart is still pounding. Ha, 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 ha. What an asshole ghost. Cart malfunction, but it has never happened before. Kangaroo Barn is still being creepy. Come visit us. We want to. I have more stories about my home country, but I'll send them in another time, as I had to tell this one right now because it just happened. Thanks for your podcast. I love it. Holly.
Home country, I'm assuming Holly's from Britain.
I think so.
Because she said rubbish.
Rubbish.
Trash, and that's a very British thing.
It's either that or Australia. I can't remember. We didn't look it up. We're sorry, Holly.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
But Holly, wherever you're from, we love it.
That's right.
Oh, that's so funny.
Good.
It's kind of terrifying and funny. I love that. I just picture her laughing and doing a rolling jump into.
Rolling jump, laughing while thinking I am sending this in as soon as I get fucking home.
Sometimes that just helps you through a story you're experiencing in the moment by going what a story this is going to make.
Right, and that's how you can go further and be braver. Is you can be like, does the story end here when I send it to Well Intentions, or does it further?
This is just Act 1. That's what I think.
Yeah, go for it. Get the bigger story. Risks yourselves. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's
Don't risk your life. Well, I mean, if you have a chance to stop a runaway car from, doing massive damage or hurting people, then sure, risk yourself.
Right.
If you feel so inclined.
Your turn.
My turn. This is from Peter. Hello, Peter. Yet again. Peter says, I had the lake story with Elizabeth. Yes, we do remember.
The lake story with Elizabeth.
Michael, he says, you weren't really judgmental, just maybe a little scolding for a second. And I felt the need to explain.
That's like when you told someone to get rid of the dog.
I'm such an asshole.
You aren't. You were joking-ish.
I was joking-ish. But am I the sort of asshole that, like, because I'm figuring this out about myself, am I the kind of asshole that just, like, disguises my true intentions in a joke? Like, I hate you.
You definitely do that, but I think we all do that. We all do that.
But it doesn't make me less of an asshole.
I just love that you'll say something and later be like, that doesn't sound like me. And then everybody else is like, yeah it does.
What are you talking about? I wasn't judgmental. I didn't scold you. What the fuck is wrong? How dare you suggest I scolded you?
You yelled at him for scolding you, for saying you scolded him. That doesn't sound like me. Anyway, okay, sorry, continue. Sorry, Peter says...
Peter, I just want you to know that I was just judging or scolding you from the standpoint of someone that, like, I've had kids on my property before, and I'm always like, God damn it. Anyway, but that's just me being an old man. You'll understand one day.
Once you have a lawn.
Once you have a lawn and kids don't leave you the fuck alone. I'm so kidding. Right. This is a story of my first experience with the paranormal and the last one I have to submit. I hope I have no experiences to submit in the future, at least because I'm kind of a scaredy cat. Some of my first memories are of moving into the house I grew up in when I was 5 years old. It was a 3-bedroom, 2 downstairs. It was 3-bedroom, 2 downstairs, and 1 upstairs. I was like, wait, you've got 2 downstairs?
That's 2 down. That's a basement. He's just trying to pretend he doesn't have a fucking basement. We know the truth.
We're not scolding you, Peter.
No, it's been a week. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
Yeah. Can you hear that we've been without power and stranded places? My gran, Peter says, took the masters downstairs, and as my sister was still a baby, she got the other downstairs bedroom. That left me alone upstairs. I remember having a feeling about that house, but it would be a few years before anything would come out and play. The window in my bedroom faced our backyard and the swing set that was in it. Sometimes I would get the feeling that someone was watching me when I was playing on the swings, but I was never scared. I'm 27 now, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit that as much as I love ghost stories, I'm easily scared by a lot of them. As a child, though, I was quite brave. Too brave, my grandmother says. I saw her when I was 7. A woman in a white gown standing at my bedroom window, her back to me. It was early morning, light outside, but the kind of light that still casts everything in shadows. I wasn't scared. Nothing about her suggested I should be, in fact. I felt perfectly at ease. I fell back asleep. She was gone when I woke up. The next night, I attempted to call out to her before falling asleep. I got no response. It was a few months before I saw her again. She still stood by the window, but this time she was looking right at me, smiling. I know this sounds unnerving, but again, I wasn't scared. Something in me just knew she wouldn't hurt me. I can count on my fingers the number of times I saw her from the time I was 7 until I was 12. Even though I only saw her those few times, I spent years talking aloud to her in that room. I was a very lonely child, and she was someone I could tell all my troubles to without fear of rejection. Aw, same. I feel that. This troubled my grandmother quite a bit, as her faith taught her that evil spirits and demons would appear as someone we feel we can trust. When I was 12, I cried myself to sleep one night. When I was drifting between consciousness and not, I thought I heard someone whisper, "It's all right."
Aww.
Just before I felt the bed dip behind me as if someone had just sat down. I knew it was her. We moved later that year, and the people who bought the house after us tore it down to build a new one. A few years ago, at a dinner with family and friends, the subject of hauntings came up. My grandmother talked about that house and about how something in there scared her, and that she hated being upstairs and even felt unwelcome up there at times. I'm not sure what I think all these years later. I love you both and this podcast so much. Aw, thank you. I made my grandmother listen to a few episodes. She particularly enjoys Jamie. Well, of course she does.
I love it. Thank you,
Grandma.
That's a very
sweet story.
It is a sweet story. I hope that if she hears this, that she'll be okay with it. That Grandma will be okay with it now, knowing that she was just really supportive of him.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Oh, that's really nice.
Okay, next is from Catherine. It was New Year's Eve on 2011 into 2012. I was getting over being sick, so I decided I'd rather stay in than go out and celebrate. Isn't that what we all really want to do? you get ready, and the getting ready part's fun, and then you're ready to go out, and you're like, can't we just stay home? Anyway, maybe that's just
It's
me.
true. No, I'm there with you. Like, especially the older you get, the more it's like, man, the promise of going outside it ever diminishing returns. Like,
Right. There will be people out there.
People, and
I don't
like,
like people.
I think it'd be so great if I could just have a portal to where I'm going and not have to worry about parking
traveling,
or
Ubering
traffic
for
or drunk
$400,000.
assholes that are gonna try to start shit.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry about that, Catherine. We just brought the room down. Decided she wanted to stay in. Okay. I was still living with my parents at the time, and the house was going through some renovations. Instead of sleeping in my room in the section of the house where the renovations were being done, I opted to sleep in the den on the futon. It was shortly after 2 a.m. when I woke up feeling like someone was watching me. With only the glow for the TV for light and my blind eyes without my glasses, I saw a man standing at the foot of the futon, smiling at me. Oh. It wasn't a normal smile, though. It was as if he had a Glasgow smile. Ooh.
What smile?
A Glasgow smile?
What's a Glasgow smile?
That's where they cut your face and make
tell
me what's his face.
Okay.
I can't remember his last name, which is terrible.
Tell me what's his face?
From Sons of Anarchy. Flanagan.
Okay, yeah.
Glasgow smile. Okay. From Scotland. We get it. Cut your face. Very Joker. That's what it's based on. Anyway, it was in Scotland in the 20s and 30s. That's when they started doing it. Then it transitioned into England. And I'm saying this naturally, not as if we paused for a second to look up exactly what it was.
They'll never know.
They'll never know. Okay. So, in order to make sure I was pronouncing Glasgow right, we are fucking professionals.
We don't want you to see behind the curtain, guys.
Anyway, fucking dude at the foot of the futon, smiling, had a Glasgow smile. So I don't know if he was smiling with a Glasgow smile or he wasn't smiling and just had the Glasgow smile. Who knows? But anyway, the weird thing is that I could see him perfectly without my glasses. He faded away after around 15 seconds. I won't lie, I screamed loud enough to wake everyone up in the house. I was asked what's wrong, and after telling my parents what happened without missing a beat, my mom replied, "Oh, that's just George." George was the name. George was the name what my grandparents thought was her imaginary friend. I guess not.
Oh. Well, I mean, if your kid comes to you and says, like, my imaginary friend, this is George, he has a Glasgow smile, like, as a parent, you'd be like, how the fuck do you know what one of those is? Okay, right. We have a demon or a ghost or
right.
a
Well,
demon.
probably when her mom was a little girl, she didn't know what it was. She just thought he was smiling really big. And so, then when her daughter,
a beat of pee by putting it in those terms. I was like, oh god, the little girl's just going, he just smiles
really big.
He's a really big smile. He's very happy.
So then when daughter sees it, who's old enough to know what it is, you're gonna be like, whoa, or maybe not. Maybe she just describes it now, but then she describes exactly what she sees to her mother, who at the same space had seen the same thing when she was younger. Mom's like, it's fucking George. He was real.
Did you know the pop culture image of the carved smile that gave, that inspired the Joker, Bob Kane, to create the Joker, came from a Victor Hugo novel called The Man Who Laughs.
And when was that written?
And in the late 1800s, 17th, 19th century, whatever. And it's same guy that wrote Hunchback of Notre Dame and Les Miserables. And it's a story.
Probably a very cheerful man.
It's a story. Well, it's a story about a young boy that is kidnapped by this band of gypsies known as the Comprachicos, who are like a Spanish gypsy. I don't know if they were ever real. They probably were. And they in the novel they like to kidnap little children and deform them so they'll grow into freak shows. And they take this one kid and he's already a little big, so they can't do anything to him except we'll carve a smile into his face. So he's always smiling. So he'll be like the fool. And then he escapes from them and has to lead his life. Basically the whole concept is he's forced to live in a world that everyone just assumes he's smiling.
Right.
And but Lon Chaney did a film version of it, and that Bob Kane saw it as a child, and he was like, I'm going to make a Batman villain out of that.
Yeah,
so
that's
there's
good.
the birth of the Joker.
One of the best villains. Love that Joker.
Oof.
All right, you're next.
Yes,
this was a long one, but I thought it was really good.
I can't wait. It looks really fun. So this is Daniel, parentheses, of the mugs.
He gave us our mugs.
So badass. Thank you.
So we have the Ghoul Intentions mugs that we have. We posted pictures of them, the copper mugs, they say.
Love it.
What do they say on the front? Shit. Brain fart.
I don't know.
They say Ghoul Intentions things on the front.
Yeah, they do, but we're not using them right now because they're being washed.
Why? They're
what the fuck?
dirty.
I don't know what they... Oh, Daniel.
God damn it, not again. Anyway, Daniel,
Sorry.
we love them. We use them all the time. If
sincerely.
They're just dirty because we used them like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
When he picked up, or before you came over I can't remember, but anyway.
Yeah. It's for the dogs.
Yeah.
So Daniel of the Mug says, fuck it. I've accepted the fact that I'm haunted. There's this entity that's been following me since a few friends and I took a tour of Zach Bagans' museum in Las Vegas. I did not know Zach Bagans had a museum in Las Vegas.
I want to kick him in the face.
Was the entity his publicist? Because for some reason I thought it would be a great idea to go inside a house with haunted artifacts up the wazoo for my 21st birthday. Guess that's why they make you sign a waiver before taking a tour. Wow, there's really a waiver like, hey, you may be haunted when you leave here.
Right.
That's just good advertising.
I think it's all advertising. I don't fucking trust that man.
It's Vegas. The only thing Vegas is haunted by is pensioners. First time I saw that fucker was in our hotel room at the Golden Nugget.
See?
It was around 3 a.m. when I woke up out of the suspicion that I was being watched. And wouldn't you know it, there was a dark mass in the corner of the room. Uh-oh. At that point, I was really hoping that my eyes just needed to adjust. But that only made things worse as it started to take the shape of a human silhouette. As fast as I could turn on the bedside lamp, it vanished. After we got back from Vegas, everything was pretty quiet. I was thinking to myself...
Just thrown money at it.
I was thinking it was the pit boss. I was thinking to myself that maybe it was just a one-time thing and maybe I decided to take up residence at the hotel. How wrong I was.
Whoopsies.
After meeting Michael back at Zach Anime, I found out that he did a podcast all about the paranormal. I think I saw it on his table as like a little sticker or something of the Ghoul Intentions logo.
We passed them out.
In fact.
I just ordered another 1,000.
Yay. Yay. My voice is so froggy today. So I looked it up and realized that it had my 3 favorite things: comedy, spookiness, and alcohol.
Yes.
I like your style, Daniel. So I binged the shit out of it, and I guess you're right. The spirits do have a strange connection to the podcast. Because it turns out that thing never left my side, and for some reason decided to become active again once I started listening to you. You're welcome. Sometimes it's the...
Whoopsies Ghost!
Whoopsies Ghost should just become... Here, Ghost.
We got this for you. It's a ghost.
Happy 21st birthday.
Have a spirit and a spirit.
Sometimes it's the usual missing keys or some shit. Sometimes it's the usual missing keys or some shit, then having it drop in front of you like it fell from the ceiling, some doors opening and closing by themselves, dogs barking and nothing inside the house, or the occasional dark human silhouette reflecting on your TV screen behind you or right in the corner of a wall. I love how this is so casual.
It's just like, it's whatever. No, it's not. It's
whatever.
fucking
It's not
terrifying.
whatever. It's like when you run out of cereal, or you pour a bowl of cereal and you think there's
Right.
milk or there's not. Like, no, that's not comparable.
You
Not at
accidentally
all.
pull your
I'm just gonna read this again.
vacuum cleaner
Sometimes
plug
it's
out.
the usual missing keys or some shit, then having it drop in front of you like it fell from the ceiling, some doors opening and closing by themselves, dogs barking at nothing inside the house, or the occasional dark human silhouette reflecting on a TV screen behind you or right in the corner of the wall, only for it to vanish again. You know, the usual.
It's like being lifted up in your bed and carried down the stairs. Like, you know, the usual.
Sometimes a disembodied floating head flying at you from the corner of the attic. Sometimes it even follows me to work.
Jeez.
Which doesn't really bother me except when it involves the washer and dryer, because it has a habit of pausing them when no one is around, which is a real bitch.
I bet it is. It's so irritating.
It's like, you wanted this clean, motherfucker. But one night, it became very serious. I believe I just finished listening to the Skinwalker Ranch episode you did, which, by the way, is my all-time favorite.
See, take that, Charles.
Hell yeah. So
We're still bitter about what Charles the cat doesn't like.
I'd forgotten about that son of a bitch. So I decided it was time to call it a night. Once I got to my room, I noticed my closet door was slightly ajar. At first, I didn't think anything of it and closed it, then turned off the lights and hopped into bed. This time I decided to sleep with my back uncovered and facing the ceiling. It just felt comfortable at the time. But after about 15 minutes trying to fall asleep in that position, I heard the closet doorknob turn and open. I immediately opened my eyes, but I couldn't see anything because the room was pitch black. As I was contemplating whether to get up and turn on the light or just ignore it, I felt a fucking hand, that's all caps, slowly run down from my neck to my lower back.
I don't like that.
That was the first time in my life where I couldn't move a muscle even if I'd tried, and
Caressed
my heart...
by a spirit.
Can you show us where the spirit touched you?
Oh,
And my heart was pulsing through my entire body as I felt fingers just slowly caress my back in the darkness, knowing full well that nobody else was in the house.
Touched by an angel.
Oh, God. Thankfully, it only did it once after laying there for a solid 10 minutes, completely still.
Imagine silently nodding like, yep, that just happened.
Well, I got up, turned on the light, sat on my bed, looked at the half-open closet, and proceeded to yell at it.
Yes.
Word for word.
I love it. I'm ready.
Are you fucking kidding me right now, you fucking cunt? I didn't fucking care about the small shit you did opening fucking doors and moving shit around from time to time, but I swear if Christ, if you ever touch me again, I will fucking get a goddamn priest over here and send your ass to the fucking light, you piece of fucking shit. Do I make myself clear? Fucking cunt.
See, some people get angry, and I'm like that.
I love that. Find the anger. Find the anger.
Find the rage.
You gotta find the rage. It will help you, Daniel. And you don't need my advice. You're already taking it. Surprisingly, I think it actually listens to me.
It's amazing.
I just want the ghost to be like, there's no need to yell.
That's very rude. I don't like the C word. Excuse you. I was a showgirl, not a show cunt.
Still, small activity happens from time to time, but I'll take that any day of the week. I should be thankful that it's not
What's
harmful
small, though?
or demonic. Yeah, just doors flying off their hinges,
bloody eyes staring at me. But
storms
it's fine.
in the living room. It seems like it's only playful or just wants to make itself noticed. Hopefully, it stays that way. I'll keep you updated if anything goes horribly wrong again. It was also great meeting you at SAC Anime, Michael. Hope to see you again, and hope to see you one day as well, Jamie. You're both lovely people.
Thank you.
I love how all our fans just know exactly what to say. Also, thank you for accepting the copper mugs. Thank you.
Thank you for giving them to us.
Glad you love them. Sorry if I'm not the best writer. Oh, no, you did
that's
great.
Pretty great.
I just really had to get this experience off my chest. Maybe I'll send you my childhood haunting at an old apartment complex I used to live with. Bye-bye. Now, when you say send that, do you mean you're going to send us the haunting? Because it sounds like you can do that.
Right, don't send us the ghost.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Daniel, and say I think this thing's been with you for a while. I don't think you picked up anything.
Right. And I feel like, too, the more
at
people...
the Zach Bagans gift shop.
I think that what happens is people listen and they start to become a little more aware of their surroundings. They're listening better. They're paying more attention. And so things that may have been around them the whole time or things they may not have noticed all of a sudden appear to them. They can see, they can sense, they can experience.
It's also, you got to figure, there's got to be ghosts out there that just aren't good at haunting. They have no natural talent for it. Like maybe there's not a course they can take, like how to get attention, how to like scare the shit out of your person. And maybe listening to us, they get ideas.
Maybe that's what
and so they go, oh, I can run my hand on his back.
I've been doing that this whole time. If you are listening and you in the next week feel someone's fingers run down your back, that's not there. Please let us know. Let's like a little
please
experiment.
Let us know and blame Daniel. And Zach Bagans. No, I don't think it came from Zach Bagans.
No, nothing does. Next, we have a little story from Aradia.
Oh, I like it when you say it like that. Aradia. Sorry if that's not your name at all.
I like it. When I was around 10, I moved in with my mother and brother. They lived in a pretty decent rent house in a small town. My mother went to school with a landlord, so the rent was cheap. I got the best room. The fan worked, the AC worked, the floor was wood, and it had more space than I needed. The only problem was the closet. Being a girl, closet space was very important to me, and unfortunately, my closet was small. Not to mention, the attic door was in there. Attics have always creeped me out, so I wasn't very thrilled with having the door to one in my closet. The landlord only had 2 rules. Anything you break, you pay for, and do not go into the attic. Pretty sketchy, right?
That's some Bluebeard shit right there.
You get what you pay for. You want a good deal? Don't go into the attic. Also, do you have an attic? Don't go in there. Anyway, I didn't really think much of it, though, and went about living there. Not long after we moved in, weird things started happening. I'd hear footsteps, my radio would randomly turn on, lights would turn off on their own, the bathtub would start running when no one was in the bathroom, and I'd constantly feel like I was being watched. Ooh. I've dealt with things like this before, so it didn't bother me as much as it should have, but there was this one instance I will never forget. I was lying in bed reading a book when my closet door forcefully swung open. Ooh. Then my bed started shaking violently.
Oh.
I was sitting up by now and clutching the headboard. Almost as sudden as it had begun, it stopped. I sat in shock for a moment, and then I got up, grabbed my book, and went into the living room. I never told my mother about the bed shaking, but I did tell her about the closet door. She claimed it was only because the house was tilted. That couldn't have been the reason, though, because the door was shut completely. You'd have to do a trick with the handle to get it open. Sometime later, my mother decided to move to a new city. Our landlord came over to help us pack up. When I told her what happened with the closet, she said, I guess he still isn't happy then. I asked her what she meant by that, and she told me, my uncle hanged himself in your closet.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
So, why not the attic then? What's wrong with the attic if he hanged himself in the closet?
Well, I don't know. I think the landlord just kind of sits up there and like looks through a peephole down at people. Like that's unrelated.
That's different. That's where she puts all the dead bodies. Be glad you didn't go in there, but yeah,
the attic. The attic. I think the attic is probably just the landlord's wank chamber.
Creepy. Well, I feel like though that's always so creepy when there's there's stuff happening and then it's verified by someone else. Creepy. It gave me goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
We did it.
We got through it. Oh my God. I thought we'd never do this again.
I know, we did it. We made it. We survived. One quick thing.
Yeah.
I will be posting it on our Instagram and probably Twitter as well.
Yeah.
We got a very cool email. You've seen it.
Oh my God. It was
from
so great.
Jade and husband. I did not see her name in the thing. So send it to me, Jade. They got married either last weekend or weekend before and sent us a picture. And she's beautiful in her dress and veil. And her husband is standing right next to her with his shirt open a la Superman style. But instead of the Superman outfit, it's a bitches in white t-shirt. Yeah. And I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. So I'll post that. It's the best use of a t-shirt yet, I think.
Oh my God.
It makes me so happy. It made us
feel so great, you guys.
So great.
Thank you. And then made our day.
Also, I believe it's Sarah.
Yeah.
Made pops of us.
Yes.
Which I don't have any pops of any character I've ever played. So I love that the first pop is one of me. It's so exciting.
Your ship has finally come in.
It's finally happening. No, it makes me very happy to see how many people are connecting with the show. We appreciate it so much. Ooh. You guys are awesome.
Yes, you are.
We should be back to normal. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
And so go to the website to submit your stories, ghoulintentions.com. You can also buy shirts. There's a link to buy shirts there. We're working on a couple of new styles. We've had several people say they want Spirits Need Spirits.
It's a good logo.
Yeah. So we're looking at some other shirt options to add and check those out. We're on Twitter at Ghoul Intent and on Instagram at Ghoul Intentions. And there's a Facebook page, which is Ghoul Intentions as well. Check it out, follow us, keep up to date with what's going on, and then you'll know if like some drama happens in Dallas and we can't record for whatever reason.
Weather.
Yeah, but we think you guys are the best. And remember,
it's okay to sleep with the lights on.
We've been making up a lot of songs recently.
We always go song time.
Well, with the girls, we make up songs for a lot of stuff right now. So, yeah, there's a song for being fussy. Yeah. But maybe I shouldn't do it. It's like, oh, you so fussy. Oh, you so fussy. Oh, you so fussy. And then I probably shouldn't, now that I think about it, say it out loud. Maybe that's not the right thing to do. Because later they'll be like, hear it and then be like, I thought it was fussy. It's horny. That's different.